have my 68 Gen 1 Camaro, but that's like for events at the drag strip or car show. Um, uh, the driver's ed car, but that's not mine. And then also, I had a 2014 SRT Jeep, quite fast, loves to drink gas, very expensive. The tires are like $200. No, the tires are like $500 a piece. You have to use premium gas. It's probably $80 to fill it up. So once you get in your 20s or 30s, you're going to want to get a really nice car. And you should get that car. But you got to remember, the insurance, crazy expensive. Tires, expensive. Brakes, fuel, and insurance in case someone damages it or steals it from you. So I had that vehicle about 5 years, a lot of fun, but also it was very expensive to maintain. So if you want to drive a nice car, you better have a good job because you can't rely on your parents. Your parents are going to give you the basic. Honey, you're going to get a 2012, and that's all you're going to have until you get married or you go out of college. You're not going to have the new crispy 2025 unless you're the only child. Wink, wink. And then you're going to get a nice crispy. And if you crash it, so you're going to get the oldest car in the household. Chloe, you got a question?
Yeah, last class I thought we only finished up to 75 for worksheet 2.
Okay, well, I'll start there. It's all good. It's all good. Remember, I'm pushing you through.
Okay.
I want to stay on track. It's all good, Chloe.
Yeah, but I don't think we started going over it unless I'm remembering wrong. But
Okay, we'll figure it out. Don't stress. This is like get to know your instructor. It's really important. I'm just starting from the bottom. The makeup class. Okay, thank you. If you're here for makeup, just put makeup. We started about 6:33, 6:34. It's all good. At four-way stops, how do you know if you have the right of way? If you're the first car there, you have the right of way. I'll say it again. If you are the first car there, well, what if I'm not the first car there? Then the first car there goes first. Then if you're the second, you go next. Okay? So you'll learn the rules of the right of way as we drive. You'll go through a three-way stop, four-way stop. I will take you there so you really learn it. That is a good question. Also, my wife has a 2025 Impala, so that's her vehicle primarily, but I do drive it. And then we got the 2020 Jeep Limited. Daughter drives that, so got a flat tire, got to fix. She's going to watch me. She knows how to change a flat tire, but we're not trying to be out there all night. So about 10:30 tonight, 10:45, I have a floor jack. So I can just jack up the front of her car, get the four-way lug wrench. That's going to give me more leverage. And then I'll just break the lug nuts loose. I'll have her take the lug nuts off. She'll slide the tire off. She'll go into the back hatch, open up the back hatch, get the spare out, bring it back and put it on. And then I will be her assistant. I'll have her put on the lug nuts. I'll tighten them up. And we're talking 5 to 10 minutes, okay? But you got to know how to change your tires. So she was driving from college, came home. My air warning tire thing was on. I'm like, oh my God. She got home, but the tire is flat. So you got to know how to change tires. How does it work if we are scheduled right after class? Savannah already talked about that. You will leave 8:10, 8:12. You'll be online on your phone. You'll meet me there at the school. Good? Okay, so don't panic. Be there. First car, an Impala. It was light blue. I paid for it myself. Pay for your own vehicle. Get a job. Pay for it. But it was an older car. Kept breaking down. I kept putting money into it. So you have to decide. If you get an old car, it's going to break down. You need tires. You need brakes. Those are wear items. Okay? You got to get an oil change. I don't want to do with that car stuff. Well, I guess you don't want to drive. All of you want to drive, but you don't want to put in the work. Insurance, getting a job, putting gas in the car. Typically, you're going to put $20 in. That's going to get you 2.5 days. You'll go to school. You'll hang out at your friend's house. You'll go home. You might go see a basketball game, football game, pick a friend up, go get a smoothie, go get some Chinese food, come home. Then by Wednesday, you're on zero. Mom, Dad, you're going to have your hand open. Your parents are going to get tired of, no, my mom and dad love me. You got to get a job because that's going to show responsibility. Because your mom and dad are not going to keep paying you money. And if they are, let me come over. I need money. I need money for my social media. I need money for my race car. I need money for food. So parents want to teach you responsibility. You're not just going to have the money train open all the time. So when you guys get that car, you're going to learn personal responsibility, and that is really cool. What car do we drive? You are driving a 2010 Impala, four-door, big motor, a lot of torque. If you jam the gas, we're going to be off. So go into your turn smooth, squeeze the brake, take your time. It's pretty chill. How many hours do we need? Midwest, you need 6 hours of driving, 4 hours of observation. Hey, put some questions in. Tyler, subscribe. So what I need you to do is be calm, right? Natalie, she's smashing her food. We'll let Natalie eat. Natalie, I got my peanut butter jelly sandwich, but I can't even enjoy it right now, right? Natalie drove, right? And Rihanna drove. They parallel parked. They made right turns. They made left turns. They had good speed control. They reversed in the driveway. They were all nervous in the beginning. Takes 10 or 15 minutes. You take your time. You listen to your instructor. I'm going to treat you like an adult. I'm not going to belittle you. I'm not going to scream at you. I'm going to be honest. And that's what you need your instructor to do. I introduced myself to their parents. I asked their parents, hey, are there any questions you need to ask me? They looked at me like, what do you want me to ask you, bro? I'm like, I'm getting ready to drive your child. Most parents, once they see me, it's okay. It's a part of growing up. And some of you will grow up doing this. Some of you won't because you're immature. That's who you are. You have silly friends in school, silly friends in the neighborhood. Silly friends turn into silly adults. You still don't have a house, bro? I can stay in my mama's basement till I'm 42. Bye, John. Right? So you're starting to grow up. And when I talk to you, I have that adult conversation. Favorite car brand? I definitely like the Teslas. I like the Sierra 1500. Those are really nice SUVs. Been 4 years working with them. Okay, we only had a few questions. You guys are lame. I need more questions. I asked all of you to put questions in. This is your chance to get to know me, right? Tips, you need to make sure you have good speed control when you're making right turns. Don't hug the right. You'll go into the ditch. Parallel parking can be challenging, but if you listen to me and I'll show you what to do, you'll be able to master it pretty quickly. You have to know how to parallel park or you won't get your license. A lot of people are very fearful of that. Angelina, I like that question. It's got to be it's my 1968 Camaro. It makes about 900 horsepower and it goes about 9 O's at about 150. But that's in a controlled environment. The SRT Jeep probably put out about 650 to the ground, right? Non-nitrous assisted. So I like what you said. Horsepower. Number one student. I like that. Let's answer these questions. So do we leave off at 75? Where do we leave off? Someone tell me. Where do we leave off? Come on, double check. I want to get through this.
70.
Okay, 70. Let's go over these questions quickly. I will. When checking your blind spot, you should look over your right shoulder, right? And if you're making a left, you look over your left shoulder. So you got to check. You got to do those shoulder checks. And a lot of beginning drivers don't do that because they're scared. They're nervous. They're scared. They're going to turn the wheel. And some kids and adults squeeze the wheel so hard, you can't even look. So do that chin to shoulder. Do that head check. Do the head check. Don't be scared. I'm here to bring you to adulthood. Okay? Too much steering input during lane changes can cause your vehicle to turn sharply and abruptly. This is true. Don't squeeze the wheel really hard. You should stop no closer than 15 feet to the railroad crossing. because some locations don't have gates, they don't have lights, so you have to look. This is why school buses, uh, hazardous material carriers have to stop, turn on four-way flashers, hit those air brakes, and they look left, and they look right, and they look left again. Just imagine if a train came, it would be a catastrophic explosion. Who has the right of way of roundabouts? Vehicles to your right, vehicles to your left, vehicles circulating in. We went through a roundabout today, uneventful, good speed control, takes about 15 minutes to relax. If you reach the intersection with stop signs at all four corners at the same time, the person on the left, you have to yield the right of way. This is true. So we are in America, right-hand dominated society, so make sure you understand the rules of the right of way. I try to take drivers through those areas, downtown areas, four-way stops, two-way stops, so you can understand the rules of the right of way, because when you take your test when you're 16, if you don't learn those things, you're going to fail. And then your mom or dad are going to say, oh my God, I took off work for this. Dad, that's why I don't like your wife. Or mom, that's why I don't like your husband. So your parents should be positive. Remember, I'm here for you because I'm driving with you. I'm not driving with your mom. I'm not driving with your dad. I want to make you the best authentic person you could be. You're going to learn from me. You're going to learn from your mom, your dad, your uncle, your auntie. So learn and develop your own style. When you near the crest of a hill on a two-lane roadway, you should reduce your speed, move your vehicle to which side of the lane? The right side. Okay, we want to make sure we have room in case a car is coming up the hill. If you approach a curve at the top of the hill and you do not have clear view of the road ahead, you should slow down so that you can stop in the distance ahead of you. You always want to be able to see vision. A vehicle driven on a curve tends to pull in a straight line. Go slow into the curve. Take your time. The best place to adjust speed of the steering through curves is before you get into the curve. A lot of beginners, adults and teens, go too fast into the turn. They literally go off the road. Then your instructor has to turn the wheel to the right so you don't hit a car in the left lane, or they have to turn the wheel to the left so you don't go in the ditch. Everyone's a little bit different. When you identify a potential hazard, you must decide what to do. Am I going to stop? Am I going to go? Am I going to get to the right side? Am I going to get to the left side? Am I going to side swipe? You need to make up your mind. A lot of you, when you get into the vehicle with your instructor, with your parent, you're going to freeze. Because your mom is going to be yapping in your ear. Your dad might be... No. Whoever's in the front is the co-pilot. See, Mom? Did you listen? Dad? Whoever's in the front is the co-pilot. Because Dad's going to tell you to go. He's in the front. Mom's going to say stop. Your brain is going to go... That's what's going to happen. You're going to have information overload. So I'm trying to reduce that fear and anxiety and coach you, because I want you to learn as quickly as possible. It takes 10 years to master. If you're 16, 26. If you're 14, 9, 24, 9. You can't rush time. You can't. Well, I'm just going to drive 2 years. You can't learn in 2 years. It takes time. If you must attend to a distraction while driving, increase your following distance. Managing space wisely in the city allows you to see and be seen. You want to have your headlights on. You want to make sure your windows are clear. You want to stay in the middle of your lane. You don't want to hug the left. You can get sideswiped by a car. A mirror will hit you. A door will hit you. You don't want to hug the right. A tree branch could hit you. You could hit a pothole and go off the road. It's happened to us before. I've had students crash that way. But if you're looking down at the lines, like I'm looking down, you're going to crash because you're not looking up at the road. The instant you observe a conflict ahead, check your mirrors. Check your inside mirror, Outside mirror to the left, outside mirror to the right. Can you squeeze the brakes? Can you make an emergency lane change? Check your mirrors. When preparing to make a right turn, besides signaling 3 or 4 seconds in advance, you should tap your brake lights, flash your brake lights. Let other drivers know, hey, I'm slowing down. While driving in an urban area, a pedestrian may appear unexpectedly. When you approach the stopped vehicle, always look. Pedestrians walk between cars, behind cars, in front of cars, on the side of the road, the wrong side of the road. We have to be defensive drivers. When you are looking far and near, you are searching. You're searching for little kids walking between cars. You're at the high school. You're searching for your friend walking between cars. You're searching for your enemy walking between cars. You're searching for your favorite teacher walking between cars. You're searching for your mean teacher. You're searching for your principal. You have to look around. 2 to 5 p.m. is the most dangerous time because you have young, inexperienced drivers who think they know how to drive and they're going to back in and hit your car. Now you got to tell your mom and dad what happened. When making a right turn in an urban setting, you should signal your intention 100 feet or half a block. The distance you should look ahead of your vehicle when driving in a city at slow speeds is at least 2 blocks. Whenever you approach an intersection with the yield sign, stop if vehicles are entering from the left or right. A flashing yellow arrow in a left turn lane means it allows the driver to slow down if the intersection is clear. People run yellow lights. People run yellow lights. When it's green, you should be looking left and right. A flashing yellow arrow tells your oncoming traffic has a green light. A flashing yellow X on a lane usage light means you should leave the lane because soon it will be controlled by a solid red. A solid red sign, flashing red signs, non-functional traffic signals always mean stop. So you have to stop. The response to a flashing red signal is the same as a stop sign. A lot of beginners panic. You zone out. And you forget to see the red light. You forget to see everything that's ahead of you. So what I need all of you to do is be consistent and stay focused on the driving environment. Lane usage lights indicates the lane you can drive and use at any time. A solid yellow line next to the broken yellow line means the vehicle next to the broken line can pass if clear. What do you do if an intersection with a flashing red? You stop, then proceed. Always stop if you have a flashing red. If you have a flashing yellow, yield. Slow down. The response to a flashing red signal is the same as the stop sign or whenever that, unless otherwise posted. The speed limit in a residential area is 25 miles an hour. Unless otherwise posted, the speed limit in the business district is 25. When all other parts of highway traffic lane is closed for construction, maintenance, survey, the speed limit is 45. These are test questions. These are questions you must know. If you daydream, you're going to struggle on the test. There's no cheat code for your state test. If you don't study and been studying, you're going to struggle. A lot of adults and teens don't study. They fail their knowledge test. You're young. You're here in a class. There are people 18, 20, 27. They've got to go to the Secretary of State. They've got to take a test. And if you can't read or comprehend, then you're going to struggle. So it's not about struggling. It's about you getting prepared and you moving forward so you can be successful. And I try to create that so you can be successful. And if you don't put in the work, you're going to struggle. Just like people here doing the makeup. They don't do the whole time, you're going to retake the class. Zoom user, put your name in there, please. We don't know who you are. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to continue. So, yellow lines separate traffic moving in opposite directions. You have to know that. Raised line markers on the roadway and shoulder are used to make a safe path of travel. When you are stopped at a red light, when it turns green, you should look left and right. Don't assume when a light turns green, it's clear. People run lights. Semi trucks run lights. People in fast cars run lights. People not paying attention runs a light. What is the purpose of a traffic sign? Regulate, warn, and give information. Click the three dots. That's how you change your name, Zoom user. Thank you. When approaching railroad crossing that has gates down and lowered, flashing lights ringing, you should stop and wait until the gates are raised, stop flashing, and stop ringing. Red roadway markers mean that you are driving in the wrong direction. So signs are very important. If you can't read and you can't comprehend, and a large sector of the population can't read and comprehend, you're going to end up making mistakes and going the wrong way. A school sign is a yellow and green with 5 sides. On the expressway, an overhead sign with a yellow panel indicates exit only.